All right. Hey, everybody. We are live on Facebook. I'm Joe Flip. We have Mick Sterling from Mick Sterling Presents and Dan Gustafson, Burnsville City Council. Um, them and a huge team of people set up this amazing 12 days with 45 live music concerts, drive-in concerts down in Burnsville. Coming up, was it next week? Pretty quick here. So much information to talk about. It's lots of stuff. So we'll bring on Mick Sterling. Most of you guys know him here. He'll kind of explain a little bit about what's going on, and we'll take any questions you might have. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments there. And there's also links on there as well. All right, Mick, you are live.
All right. Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for checking in. I hope you're enjoying this riveting live stream right now. It is riveting.
Breaking news.
I lost my image there. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, this is, it's something that, probably would not have happened in this form without what all of us are going through, through COVID since mid-March, and a lot of the restrictions that happened because of what's going on. It was a choice of either we do nothing or we try and do something within the parameters of what we have. And the only way that could have happened at all was to find a city that was able to do it, that wanted to do it, that would make it easy to do it. And last year we did an event, Mick Sterling Presents did an event with Dan Gustafson and the city of Burnsville, called Art and All That Jazz. And that went incredibly well. Great vibe, great everything. And so Dan and I were talking sometime in mid-March and kind of came up with the concept of trying to do an outdoor show similar to what Crooners was trying to do in Fridley at that time, but they still hadn't been able to formulate it yet with the city of Fridley. And kind of from that became the Relief Session Summer Concert Series that we created in Burnsville that happened for 5 consecutive Fridays in late June and through July. We had 10 bands that performed, great bands, Mick Sterling and the Stud Brothers and Steely Dan and High and Mighty and Kurt Jorgensen and Kate Fierro, unbelievable bands that performed, and people loved it. Dan, don't you think that was just an amazing thing that happened there?
Oh, it was so amazing. It was what really struck me in the 5 weeks we did on the outdoor music were everybody that came out was just so happy to just have something like this going on where they can come out with their families, their friends, and enjoy live music, which we weren't seeing. I mean, except on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it was, the crowds were appreciative, and they were well entertained. We had great music throughout the whole series, and I'll say this as someone that's out there kind of making sure things are working well for us. If we picked up 2 pieces of paper after those concerts, that was a lot. I'm serious. We had this big dumpster out there, and we had garbage bags for everybody and this and that. Nobody left any trash out there at all. It seemed like a small thing, but it's really not when you're shuffling 100 and some cars back and forth over a couple of different shows and that. That was a really big deal. But the biggest thing, again, it was just, I was struck by how so many people loved it. They came from Lake City. They came from Blaine. They were out in Plymouth. Mankato. They were all over the metro and beyond to come into Burnsville for these concerts. And it just showed us that there's a real need for this right now. And I think there's going to continue to be a need for this for a time to come.
Yeah, it was palpable. Just the gratitude that people were feeling just to experience. I think the name of this series, the Relief Sessions, the word relief is very operative. It's the operative word. That was surprising. That it really did provide relief for people with so much stuff going on in their lives, and not just in their own lives, but just in general. And it really did provide some relief for that, 75-minute set of the band they were seeing. It was great. And, during that time frame, but I think the second week, Dan and I and our partner John started talking about, well, why don't we try and do this 12 days in a row? No one was doing anything during the state fair time period that was going to be canceled. I think maybe at that time it wasn't officially canceled, but it certainly showed every sign that
it was close to it. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how quickly, I would say, the first week in July, that was the seed of the idea to do 12 days in a row. And now we're here. So it happened very quickly and culminated into 12 days in a row, 48 bands, food trucks, art vendors, and really nothing like it in the entire state is like the Relief Sessions summer concert series. No one's even come close to attempting something like this.
Yeah, Mick, like you said, with everything going on with the COVID and everything, there's such a want and need for live music, but it's so hard to have it, with everything going on, obviously. So it seems like, outdoor drive-in concerts are really the only way to make it happen. And this is 45 shows in 12 days. Could you maybe, because obviously there are a lot of people might be concerned about, the whole COVID-19 concerns, as far as social distancing, how that works.
Sure.
Do you want to maybe explain about how the tickets work as far as how they're separated, how they're reserved, and how the social distancing works?
Yeah, I think it's actually, I wish I could say it's ingenious, but I think it's really effective. I think what we're doing, and it's pretty simple. Basically what happens is that when you purchase a ticket for the show, let's say you come with 4 people in your car, and you buy 4 tickets to a show. So you're basically purchasing a parking space, but you're not just purchasing the space that your car is parked in, you're purchasing the empty parking space that's next to it. So that means you don't have to sit in your car to watch the show. You can sit outside with your own chairs and enjoy the beautiful outdoors and hear, this great band. There's 2 LED screens that will be there. So the images from what you see on the stage are incredible. But, so the next person that's next to you, that's nearest to you, is far more than 6 feet away. Plus, it's blocked by the vehicle next to you. So it's more than enough of social distancing, and you have a vehicle. So I think people really appreciated that first 5 weeks of the events. They felt safe. It was beautiful outside. It was hot those 5 days, but it was gorgeous in the evenings. And so people really, really liked that a lot. Mm-hmm. So the social distancing is certainly observed. It's honored, and I think it's done in the best way possible for an outdoor event.
Yeah. And Dan, you're with the city council. Could you maybe explain a little bit about how, like you mentioned that, there was such awesome positive feedback from the previous shows, but maybe as far as like transportation, how to get down there, how the moving, the parking works, what kind of vendors will be there?
Well, of course, we'll have parking. You can drive in. You can ride your bike. Want to ride your motorcycle? Feel free. We're right off the walking path too, so we had many walkers that walk kind of behind where all the cars were, and they'd hang out for a while and watch the music, which was a lot of fun. I want to kind of go with what Mick was saying also about that extra parking spot you have. Not only did we ended up fortunate in the way that, because we ended up with a lot of regulars that came out to a lot of the concerts, and when they came out, they had their tables and chairs, and we have food trucks, and that's available to you, and we certainly hope you purchase them. They're part of our festival. But people brought little lunches with them and hors d'oeuvres, and it was just a real social event, but it stayed within their group. You didn't have groups leaving their group and going to other groups, so there was none of that bouncing all over the place. People are very respectful in doing that.
Yeah, and awesome. There's guidelines that we have to abide by, that you can only fit 250 people in a parking lot per show, and we're very cognizant of that. And our company, TicketWorks, we're not selling any more than 250 tickets. That is it. So it is 80 cars or 250 people, whatever it works out to be. That's the limit. We're not going over anything that Governor Walz has said that this is the guideline. So I think people really appreciate that too. Everybody has their own space, and they, like Dan said, they kind of they hang there in their space, and it's very safe.
Awesome. And the talent is amazing. That the shows that it's so I posted for anyone who doesn't know about this yet. Hopefully, we're trying to spread the word as much as possible because it's such a great thing going on. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know about this yet, I put a link, thereliefsessions.com, in this live stream. And then if you click on performances, you can see a huge list of all 45 acts playing that 12 days. And then there's links to ticketworks.com is where you order the tickets. And then I guess another question first of all, I should mention that the shows are free until 5 o'clock, right?
Yeah. So that's half the event is free every day from noon to 5, which is a great feature. And I think it's important that, the thing about the state fair is that, there's music going all day long, but they have a built-in crowd of 1 million people that show up every year. So, it's pretty safe that the people, that's just part of their lives now. But now this isn't in their life. And even though we're doing the same time frame, we're not the state fair. And that people have to make a choice. And so we want to offer those things, but we know it's a difficult ask. It's not in the normal place. People are kind of have a fear change sometimes. So this is a different thing, but I think people will I think they'll like the proximity of where the stage is and the great art vendors and the food trucks. And I think they'll just enjoy doing something normal again, which is great.
Yeah. And then for ordering tickets, again, before COVID, some people would order tickets ahead of time. Some people might just show up. But I would imagine, like you said, because of the nature of everything going on with the parking spaces and the limited availability and everything, I would imagine that is it strongly preferred that guests pre-order their tickets to reserve their spot for one of these shows?
Yeah, and it's a general admission viewing, but there's only 80 parking spaces. There's only 250 tickets that we can sell. So it is better to purchase the tickets before the show and then just get there at a reasonable time so you get a good view where you park. But again, I have to stress there's an LED screen on either side of the stage. So anywhere you park in this parking lot, the view is incredible. It looks amazing and sounds amazing. So there's really not a bad seat in the joint.
Yeah.
But there is no assigned parking spaces. You reserve your space in that lot for that show when you purchase a ticket early.
Yeah. So strongly encouraged to order tickets ahead of time so you have your spot reserved or a space reserved there. And those LED screens, I call them jumbotrons. They're just crazy huge. So I know John Scott, your business partner, for during the previous shows, he was taking some video shots from his cell phone, and you could really see the real vision and ambiance of that show. Is just with the parked cars. Some people are dancing outside their cars. Some people are just in the cars. And the big, huge jumbotrons, and those things aren't cheap by any means.
No, and we should say to our vendors, our stage guy, and Tom Leonard from Festival Sound Production, and Dave Baum from Fire Up Video, and Brad Murphy. They did our first 5 weeks, and they just were in such good hands. People were just wowed by what they provided, and every show went off without a hitch. They started right on time. They did a great job. So we're really, really proud to be working with all of them again. It's the only way we could really do it. We built this great machine. That's why we're able to do 12 days in a row. And that's why we were able to to make this thing happen so quickly, along with the city of Burnsville and Dan just making it as easy as possible to get it done.
Well, let's give a shout out to our city parks department, who has got just totally behind this whole thing, and they're really bending over to make sure this happens. A lot of people aren't aware of this probably, but last year we had made a decision at the council that we wanted to be more about festivals in our city, and so we started creating things like the Party on the Plaza and different events for people to come to listen to music and all that. And of course, when COVID came around, so much of it got canceled. And our parks group had worked so hard putting so many events together. When we came to them with this, they just got behind it and seriously just did whatever they could to make it happen. And I'm so appreciative of them doing that myself. And it's been great.
Yeah, it really has been. It really has been. And I think people are going to really, I mean, we tried to make the lineup as diverse as we could. And I think we accomplished it. I think the styles are all over the place. You know, there's blues and rock and soul and gospel and, you know, and dance and Native American dancing and Irish dancing and you know, the suburbs and Chris Hawkey and G.B. Layton and just, it's all over the place. So there's really something for everybody, I think, that they can enjoy. And, you know, with the food and the art and just hanging outside, and you can make a day of it if you want to see the free part of the show any day, and then you feel like you want to get, you know, stick around and get tickets for the show that night. It's very easy. You can get tickets at the venue itself. So, you know, you don't need to worry about that, which is nice.
Yeah, and then could you talk a little bit more about the vendors? You mentioned there's some food trucks, and then even I can't remember if if the local restaurants or bars are serving. So how does that work? If as a guest you buy your ticket, if you want to order some food or some drinks, how does that work?
Well, I think, you know, we're gonna have one of the vendors is Mediterranean Cafe, and they will be able to serve beer and wine. But I think the unique thing about what we're doing is that when people come in, they're going to get a sheet of paper that has QR codes of all the food trucks that are going to be there. So from their car, they can view that food truck menu, and they can order from their car over their phone. And then when they pay for the food from that particular food truck, they're not going to be waiting in line. The food will be delivered to them from our runners. So what we don't want to have is people waiting in line, standing too close to each other, not observing social distance issues and things like that. So we just thought it would be safer and actually kind of more fun to have your food delivered to you. So that's how people will be able to order food. It's going to be very slick, very simple, and I think they really enjoyed it. The first 5 weeks when the food got delivered to them, didn't they, Dan?
Yeah, they did, and we're going to have more golf carts this time around.
yeah.
We discovered we needed more golf carts, so there'll be more people delivering food, and so it's kind of like the old car hop days. You order your food, it got brought out to you, and you don't have to roll up your window halfway for the tray. We'll just hand you the food, but you can stay in your area, and again, it helps with the social distancing.
Yep.
And it's a full service thing for the festival as well, which I kind of look at as like it's kind of fun to just sit there and listen to the music, dance, order some food. It's going to be brought to you. It's like I've been wanting to open a music club south of the river for years. I never dreamed it would be in a parking lot in one of our parks, but that's what.
That's funny, ain't it?
Wow. So then how do you? I know everyone's been asking, where the location is. How I guess what is the best way to describe the location of this event here?
It's at 251 Civic Center Drive in Burnsville, which is across the street from our city hall, right off of Nicollet Avenue. It's in a very large park, which the ambiance there is absolutely fabulous.
It really is. It's true.
And we're between our skate park, which is an award-winning skate park, I might add, and our ice arena, which has 2 sheets of ice. And so it's really set up for doing a lot of different things in there. And it was nice because we had the power out there, which is so important for what we're trying to accomplish. And we can play the music without disturbing the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And so you can go out there and you can just have a good time, and nobody's going to be complaining, which has been great.
It really has been. And the volume has been, it's not soft. It's full. It's big. It's a big sound, and we had no complaints, and people loved the way it sounded too. So I just think it's a great night out. It's a great day to hang, a great night out to hear terrific bands, and and for the first time in my life and all of our lives, there are no groups from other towns that are performing. We're it. This scene, this Minnesota music scene, is our entertainment this year. That's never happened before. So it's a unique scenario that's happening on multiple facets.
I can't think of a better area for this to happen, though, because the Twin Cities musicians are world-class musicians. I mean,
yep.
We are actually blessed with a plethora of very talented people who live in the Twin Cities. We're able to showcase. I mean, and quite frankly, I think it's starting to show some venues like you don't necessarily need to go out of town to fill your house.
No, you don't.
You can fill your house with what's going on right here in town, and we can keep live music alive in the Twin Cities.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's amazing.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, the lineup is just amazing. Like I was looking the first time I saw that list. I'm like, I need to see that show. I need to go this one. I need to go to this one. And I was like sharing it with my family and friends. I'm like, oh my God, there's amazing shows. Yeah, and I never thought about that point that you mentioned is that it's all local Minnesota music, and and like you guys said, there are so much amazing musicians in town. So so I think it's almost a great metaphor for if you want to support live music, if you want to support local business, local parks, local communities, local vendors and restaurants. I just think it's an amazing opportunity for everything there, and I know how much work it is behind the scenes. So it's for you guys for planning everything. So it's amazing to have everything come together. So I'm really excited.
Well, I wish our partner John Scott was on this thing, but he's done an amazing job of just gathering all the behind the scenes pieces to make sure that everybody's taken care of. But it is an interesting trifecta of abilities that have come together between Dan and I and John. There's a lot of experience, and there's a lot of good reputation too that has made this happen probably quicker than I think, Dan, you and I were talking. Like if somebody tried to do this, it would take them months to do, even years to do. But just because all of us have been in the business so long, there's a lot of shortcuts that we know, and there's a lot of relationships that we've created that can make this thing happen very quickly, and it needed to happen quickly. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. So there is information on thereliefsessions.com. I put the link in this broadcast. That link has all the performances. It has ticket links to the performances, or you can go to ticketworks.com. Again, family friendly. I believe kids are free. Right?
Kids are free under 15. Yep.
Kids are free up to 15. The shows are free until 5 o'clock. World class, amazing local music. I can't wait. Anything else you guys want to add, Dan or Mick?
All I can say is that we had a lot of interesting people show up at the concerts this last July. One group even brought their own swimming pool, which which we really enjoyed. It happened to be her birthday, which was amazing. They came down from Blaine.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of families were there and just having a good time, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, we're gonna be announcing. There's a couple of announcements I can make, and one more that I'm just kind of put a teaser out there. We might be doing some post-show things on the weekends that we're still trying to formulate, but I think people will really enjoy that if that comes together. I'm hoping to find out more tomorrow, but A new band that will be on Saturday, August 29th, the 7:30 to 8:45 slots. A Billy Joel State of Mind. It's a huge Billy Joel show that I produce. Mick Sterling Presents produces as a 15, 16-piece band that does this amazing honoring Billy Joel. That is going to happen on Saturday, August 29th. And then very, very happy to announce that Radio 5 Watt, which is a concept, a radio station that my son Tucker created along with Caleb Garn from 5 Watt Coffee. They will have a tent in the art vendor area, and they will be selling their 5 Watt Coffee, as well as we'll be doing some acoustic performances that are alternating between the main stage and that tent. And Tim Mahoney has agreed to do 2 or 3 performances in that tent today, and we'll have a list of really great new fresh talent that will be in that tent. They'll be doing like 20 or 25-minute performances from the Radio 5 Watt tent. So I'm very excited. So now we've added even more musicians that will be there. So it's a great thing that can happen, and I really feel like it's important for the musicians to perform for people. Mm-hmm. And we can't make this any safer than we have. And I really hope that people, musicians that might be a little bit on the fence, if they can at least come out and social distance and just hear some music, I can almost guarantee it will do their soul good. Everybody needs it. We need to live too. We need to protect ourselves, but we also need to live. And I think just something simple like this can do an amazing, amazing thing. Yeah. Safely, very safely.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to talk quickly about your the 30 Days Foundation?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a unique thing that we're doing. We raised almost $5,000 from this to the 30 Days Foundation that helped dozens and dozens of families just by selling these Bayfront Blues Fest Collectors Club CDs that the 30 Days Foundation produced each year for that festival in Duluth. That is not happening this year. But we're going to do the same thing for the 12 days, and we're debuting the Volume 6 Collectors Club, which is 15 songs that were handpicked by Pat Hayes of the Lamont Cranston Band. And it is a great, great CD. So we'll be selling that, a couple of my double CDs, and Collectors Club CD that Big Walter Smith donated to us. So the nice thing that we're doing is all of the CDs that sell, the funds raised, will go to the 30 Days Foundation through the 12 days. But 30 Days Foundation, in turn, is going to donate 33% of what we raise in the 12 days to another great charity called Good in the Hood, and another 33% to Loaves and Fishes as well. So it's a great opportunity for people to make donations to really help these 3 great, great Minnesota charities helping people in financial crisis. So it's a nice little touch to the festival.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, so much awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm glad you guys had the idea and worked together, and I'm glad the city of Burnsville was passionate about the ideas and projects. And I know there's a lot of things citywide that you have to vote over and keep everything up and up. So I'm glad they're passionate about everything and supportive, and if you guys have test run this concept for the last month on a shorter version of it, and it was amazingly successful, and so I'm excited. So yeah, we're gonna share links and keep spreading the word. Anything else you guys want to mention?
Joe, I will say that we didn't know that was a test at the time, but it was.
Yeah. Approved.
We just encourage people to come. I mean, and enjoy the end of the summer, and just give it a shot. It's a new thing, but I think people will really enjoy it. And there's not a lot of room. There's only 250 people that can be there. So you're not going to be crowded. You're going to feel very safe and If you need to wear, if you want to wear your mask, go ahead, wear your mask. It's completely fine. And it's all good. We just want people to enjoy themselves and experience this great music scene that we have in the safest way that we can do it.
I will say that even though we're only at 250 at a time over the 12 days, we can actually help service 12,000 people to come in and enjoy themselves.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's basically the same time frame that the state fair would have normally happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same exact days, and it goes through Labor Day and the suburbs and the show, and that's completely sold out, and people are so excited about that. So that was a nice surprise that they wanted to do the show. Really lends a huge name for us, and we're very, very proud of that. So, but there's so many great bands that are performing. I think people will just really love the diversity and the quality and the talent that's going to be on that stage. I can't wait to see it too.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Wow, very cool.
John asked me today, he says, so what shows do you think you want to just sit and watch? And I said, all of them.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be awesome. Well, yeah, and like you said too, this is really probably going to be the biggest and probably the last big live music, or one of the only in the last festivals of the summer of 2020, because I don't really know of anything else going on this big with this diverse and safe and outdoors and social distancing, because I know that it's going to be pretty slim pickings in the winter, but yeah, so I think we're all excited, grateful to have all this awesome local talent coming up.
Say, Joe, before we sign off, do you want to tell us a bit about your show?
Yeah. So I'm doing. I'm a big fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan. So we produce a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute show once a year, normally at the Caboose. So that one, like many other shows, was postponed or canceled this year. And we had a couple of theater shows that were scheduled for the fall and winter. And I asked, some of our fans, like, how comfortable would you be in a theater if it was social distancing? And a lot of people said, well, if it was outside, if it was a drive-in show, we would be more comfortable doing it. So I'm glad to have it out at this show. So yeah, we're doing a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute show. We got myself on guitar, Brian Naughton, Cole Allen on guitar, and a killer rhythm section, Trent Bolt, Michael Velasquez.
Nice.
Adam Pryor, he's been playing with Toronzo Cannon, touring the world with him last year or so. So yeah, we're excited. We're just one of the many acts that are happy to be sharing the stage and sharing the music with others.
That's great. I got to say one more thing too. Just there's a new artist in town, a new singer that is from the United Kingdom that is going to debut herself at the Relief Sessions on Saturday, September 5th. Her name is Beverly Sabrin, and she sings Whitney Houston and just destroys it. I mean, this woman is going to make people cry. She sounds incredible, and it's going to be a track show. She's going to sing live, but she's going to be singing over tracks, not karaoke tracks, but like the real deal. And she's done this for years in the UK, and so this is going to be her debut performance, and she's going to be doing a live show at the Chanhassen in November with a full band. So this is a really great opportunity to see this new vocalist in town that I think people are going to be very excited about. Plus, we've got a 15-year-old named Haley James that's performing acoustic show on one of the days at noon. So that's really exciting. And we have established and new artists and young artists, and so it's a great, very well-rounded lineup. Really proud of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good shows. I'm laughing right now because I actually have my Facebook up over on the other screen, and one of the people here in town that I know very well, she just posted your show, Joe.
Nice.
It was perfect.
Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be a great show. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, so cool. Man, I'm excited for the Whitney Houston show too. And you never, it's like one of those musicians, you never really see artists cover that, or even try to attempt to cover, those amazing vocalists. So, man,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yep, me too.
Wow.
Well, Joe, thanks so much for doing this, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm just I'm happy to spread the word. And yeah, again, if obviously if anyone has any questions, you can reach out to any of us on email, Facebook, website. We're gonna share all the links everywhere and help spread the word. And make sure you order your tickets soon because the tickets it's limited availability. So we really encourage you to order those as soon as possible so we can get those spots reserved for you and keep everything safe and keep the show going.
Yep.
Can I add one more thing? John
Sure.
Scott, if you're watching, we missed you tonight. We wish you could have been here with us.
Me too. Me too.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, John. Yeah, John. Yeah, and John is the man with many, like Mick said. Shout out to John Scott. He's the man with many hats that has been running around working crazy. Doing a little bit of everything. So shout out to John Scott for helping doing everything too behind the scenes.
Yep.
We just added his comment on there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. We'll let you guys go, and everybody else, we'll see you at the relief sessions.
See you on the 27th,
All
everyone.
right, guys. Thanks
Yes.
so much.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.